Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name is Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
So good, so good, so good to have you along. I'm so excited.
Oh, good. Glad you're excited.
I get to participate today, hopefully, in the Dan and Cliff Show from Oconto.
Oh, nice. You get to introduce them?
Yep. Might have to take a break. I don't know. I love going to Oconto and listening to Dan Eggleston and Clifford Badgley do what they do every day when they see one another, and that's chat. And it won't be brief because they have a lot of things to talk about. The Blowing the Doors Off barbecue, the Oconto Volunteer Fire Department putting that on, and that's this weekend, Saturday, June 1st. Serving begins at 5 p.m., and we'll be there with a registration, our first registration for our 75th birthday party, honoring KCNI's 75 years of service. We'll have a registration there, a chance to win a wonderful grill that we're working with on RTA's hardware. Also, $75 cash prizes. And at the end, towards the actual birthday, $750 will go to someone.
Nice.
Giving away over $7,500 in prizes.
Whew.
So the registrations will begin at the Blowing the Doors Off barbecue.
Great. Am I eligible?
No.
Okay.
No, you're not, even though you've been here a long time. Well, I guess that's the very reason you are not eligible.
Oh, okay. That would make sense.
Yeah. Normally we get a hold of Mark at Trade Winds Marina, but we can't get his phone to dial, well, I should say ring. We're dialing, it's not ringing. We're not sure what's going on there. And been calling the number, and we'll see if we can get a hold of Mark a little bit later, or maybe he'll give us a call.
Sounds good.
Like to know if the crappie are still biting.
Yes.
And the walleye, catfish, white bass.
Yeah. I'd like to know how the weekend went.
Oh, he's probably got his phone shut off and he's sleeping.
He might, yeah. I bet it was busy for him.
Oh, man, I bet so, too. Okay, let's see. Oh, one thing I wanted to do right away is let you know that we're in trouble.
Trouble?
Yeah, we're in trouble.
You and I?
Yeah, both of us. Well, mostly me.
What did we do or didn't do?
Didn't give away 2 tickets yesterday to the Blowing the Doors Off barbecue.
Uh-oh.
And so plan has been foiled.
Uh-oh.
And I said, well, we can give away 2 pair on Wednesday. She seemed to be okay with that. That's today.
Yeah.
So we'll give away a pair during our trivia questions.
Okay.
And maybe you can give away a couple more later on.
Sure.
In the show.
All right.
Okay. We're in trouble, but so what?
Yeah. Well, that's not the first time, no. And it's not going to be the last.
It will not be. Fact is, the breakfast show team really likes being in trouble with Christy. It's a joyous occasion. Did you see our new employee yesterday?
Our new employee?
Betty.
Oh, yes. You introduced us to her, I believe, at the meeting yesterday.
A.K.A. Tina.
Yes.
But the deal is, she got a suntan over the holiday weekend.
Huh?
I swear her hair's a different color. She says it's not. And she is she wasn't wearing glasses yesterday.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I'm going to take a break here. I wonder if that's Mark. And we don't have anybody to answer the phone.
You want me to step out and answer the phone?
Would you catch that for us,
I'm happy to do it, Dave.
In the meantime, I'll pass along the Prairie Pioneer Center menu. Thank you so much. Today, they're having chicken stuffing casserole, mixed veggies, and fruit. Chicken stuffing casserole, mixed veggies, and fruit. Now, the menu is subject to change, but most times they stay with their plan. And if you like the sounds of that meal, call them at 872-6121, 872-6121, and let them know you're coming. You can also use that same number for setting up delivery to your home and have those delicious meals from the Prairie Pioneer Center.
I didn't get to it in time.
Okay.
Sorry.
Ah, darn it.
So right when I picked it up, they hung up. So my apologies.
Well, I didn't know what to do because we just have the Runza commercial lined up,
Yes.
which is 30 seconds,
Uh-huh.
and that goes with trivia.
Yes.
So if we answered the phone, because Jack was recording in the other room, so he didn't pick up the phone. We're on the air live.
Yep.
And if I played the Runza spot, we would be in trouble. I got to tell you, it's not easy some days.
No, it's not. Having to make those decisions.
Especially when you make the wrong one.
Sometimes you just don't know what decision to make.
So let's play the game.
Okay, I'm ready to do that.
We're going to give away a Runza prize, Big Pig Day, and 2 tickets to the Blowing the Doors Off barbecue this weekend in Oconto.
Wonderful. Great prize.
All right.
On June 4th, 1919, Congress approved the 19th Amendment to the Constitution guaranteeing women the right to vote. So we're going to test your knowledge for the next few days on that amendment and women's suffrage. Okay?
All right, that sounds good.
So here's your question for today. What former slave spoke at the Seneca Falls Convention in July 1848 on behalf of women? Your choices are Hiram R. Revels, Charles S. Johnson, Frederick Douglass, or W.E.B. Du Bois. What former slave spoke at the Seneca Falls Convention in July 1848 on behalf of women? Your choices again are Hiram R. Revels, Charles S. Johnson, Frederick Douglass, or W.E.B. Du Bois. If you know, call us at 872-2801.
Nicole is having her favorite Runza salad.
The something ranch salad.
It's the chicken bacon ranch salad.
But you can put whatever else you want around it. I'm here for the ranch.
I'm with you. Runza's homemade ranch is perfect. It's so good. A classic.
It's literally the only reason I like salad.
Great point. Come get a salad with your ranch. Try Runza's chicken bacon ranch salad today, because Runza makes it all better.
Remember, today is Pigs in a Blanket Day.
You're waking up with The Breakfast Show. KCNI KBBN Radio.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it too, but I'd love it when we get a call. We didn't get a call.
That was a tough one.
That's a tough one. We
Yeah.
got 2 Blowing the Doors Off barbecue tickets worth $17 each here, folks.
Whew. Good
Okay.
prize.
I know you can Google out there. What's that question again? Let's try it one more time.
Okay. What former slave spoke at the Seneca Falls Convention in July 1848 on behalf of women?
Is there any hints?
Well,
We got to know.
what kind of hint do you want me to give? I could give you all kinds of hints. How about I shorten the choices?
Yeah.
You want me to do that?
Delete one. It's obviously
Okay.
wrong.
All right. Your choices are Hiram R. Revels, something like that.
Yeah.
Charles S. Johnson, I guess, would be another choice I could give you.
Okay.
And then Frederick Douglass.
Yeah, Frederick Douglass. Yeah.
So those are your choices.
Okay. And we have a call coming in.
Okay.
Let's find out who it is. Good morning. You're on the air. Who are we talking to?
Jerry Kramer.
I'm sorry?
Jerry Kramer.
Yeah.
Hi, Jerry Kramer. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
All right. Are you going to be hungry this weekend?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay. Maybe we can fix you up. Here's Brent.
Okay, Jerry, what former slave spoke at the Seneca Falls Convention in July 1848 on behalf of women? Was it Hiram R. Revels, Charles S. Johnson, or Frederick Douglass? What do you think?
Frederick Douglass.
Yeah, you got it, Jerry. Way to go. And yeah, we got a great prize for you. Not only are we going to give you a couple of tickets to get to the Oconto barbecue coming up this weekend, but we also have a certificate that'll get you a free pig in a blanket that they serve on Wednesday at Runza. So come on out and see us when you can.
Okie doke.
Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
You bet. Oh, just a clarification from yesterday. We were talking about giraffes during our show.
Yeah.
With the gals from Off-Broadway Assisted Living. And I was with my grandson last night. I told him that, according to one of our listeners, giraffes, the noise they make is at night they hum.
Mm.
And he did a little more research on that. And yes, indeed, they do make a kind of a humming sound at night.
I see.
But they also have other sounds they make during the daytime, according to the article. And he had the sound effects and everything. Just wanted to clear that up.
Okay.
Now, that was off internet, so
it's true.
one or all of those may or may not be true. But I always thought a giraffe ought to at least make a noise. And even they kind of like a little baby calf noise, you know. But they hum at night, and they hum, according to the article, In the Summertime by Mungo Jerry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they hum at night.
That's what they hum at night.
Yeah.
That's great. Wow.
You heard it first right here on The Breakfast Show. Well, I better give you those
Man,
tickets.
I wish I could hear that.
Yeah. Gosh, I think I have two of these stuck together, but here's two.
Okay, two. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Good morning to Denise out in Colorado. Thanks for dropping a hello by. We appreciate that very much. So I'll be heading to Ocano for the Dan and Cliff conversation.
All right.
Concerning the Blowing the Doors Off barbecue. And again, we'll be down there on Saturday with the registration kicking off our 75th anniversary celebration for KCNI, giving you a chance to win $75, a new about $1,000 grill through Ace Hardware here in Broken Bow, and $750 grand prize at the end. You don't need to be present to win any of these prizes. Don't have to call in or anything. You just have to register.
Yeah.
So we'll be there. We'll have one of the station cars there, a little table, a little cocktail bar there for you.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
No, they have adult beverages for sale.
Okay.
So we won't be doing that, and we don't have a license.
Oh, yeah.
So we better not be doing that. So I have a little song to play on my exit, and I would like you at night to think about humming this along with giraffes.
Okay.
with the Chamber in Loop City this year to put on the show out here, and so there's fireworks donation stuff up all over town and out here at the marina. So if you're out here and you're thinking about coming and watching the fireworks, let's throw a couple dollars in so we can make it bigger and better every year.
Well, I know that the 4th of July is another one of those big summer holidays where a lot of people flock to the lake. So if you're wanting to come to Sherman for the 4th of July, I'm guessing contacting you the sooner the better, instead of waiting closer to the holiday in case you want to see if there's a spot available for you. Am I correct on that?
Yep. If you, I don't have the books in front of me to let you know if we've got anything open for the holiday, but you can give the marina a call at 308-745-1187, and the gals will help you out there and let you know if we got anything available. And then the Game and Parks has also put in some campsites on the west side of the dam that are open now as well. And some of them are reservation, and some of them are first come, first serve. So
okay, all right, sounds good. Let's see, anything else that you wanted to address this morning before we let you go?
No. Tonight's fried chicken night. We get fried chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy. That will be our special starting at 4 o'clock for the rest of the night. And that's the fried chicken's $15.99, and the chicken fried steak is $16.99. So that's our special for tonight. And then of course tomorrow night we have Thirsty Thursday, and with $18 buckets of beer and wings.
All right. Well, we'll encourage people to come out and visit you there at Tradewinds Marina. I know Polish Days, I think, is this weekend in Loop City, so a lot of people are going to be in the area, and we'll encourage people to come out and see you.
You bet. We'll probably try and make it in after we close up one evening into Polish Days and check it out.
All right, sounds good. Mark, always good to talk to you. Enjoy your week, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
All right. Have a good day.
All right. Our good friend Mark at Tradewinds Marina at Sherman Reservoir, just outside Loop City, Nebraska, joining us on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. The jury at Donald Trump's hush money trial is expected to begin deliberating after each side took a marathon 9 hours to wrap up. CBS's Matt Piper in New York.
These closing arguments were really long, especially from the prosecution. This all came after a 6-week trial involving 20 witnesses, the main one Michael Cohen.
At least one person's been killed in a new round of severe storms in Texas. Dallas County Judge Clay Lewis Jenkins.
The damage itself is not unusual because we do have straight line winds frequently here in North Texas. The extent of the damage and the number of customers affected is unusual.
2 decades after he ran, police say they've caught up with Boston's bad breath rapist in Northern California. Chris Tamayo with the U.S. Marshal's Office.
There was a moment of denial for him, I think in shock, where he, didn't really want to say who he was, but he knew the gig was up.
One piece of evidence is foul breath. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
In Nebraska news, on the KSNB website, the Grand Island Police Department have arrested 2 women after a 39-year-old man said he was being assaulted and robbed. Officers received a call on Saturday from the man who was sleeping in the tractor trailer saying 4 people entered and held him down. GIPD said 26-year-old Latvia Root and 24-year-old Sierra Lovejoy, along with 2 other men, stole the 39-year-old man's phone and wallet containing his debit cards and cash. On Sunday, officers found both Lovejoy and Root near 3rd and Eddy Streets. Root admitted to getting into a physical altercation with the victim, but denies stealing any items. Lovejoy admitted to GIPD being with Root, but denies entering the tractor-trailer. Both are charged with a felony robbery charge and misdemeanor theft charge with a bond set at $50,000. Root has a preliminary hearing scheduled for July 11th, while Lovejoy's preliminary hearing is scheduled for June 17th. The Grand Island Police Department is still looking for the other 2 men, but know the identity of one of them. This has been a Nebraska News Update.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In the NBA Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals saw the Timberwolves beat the Mavericks in Dallas 105-100 to stay alive in the series. Minnesota's Big 2 was better than Dallas's Big 2. Anthony Edwards, 29 points, 10 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns, 25 points in the win for Minnesota. For Dallas, Luka Doncic, 28 points, 15 boards. Kyrie Irving, just 16 points in the loss. Dallas still leads the series 3-1, but Minnesota's still alive. We'll have a Game 5 Thursday in Minneapolis. NHL Game 4 Eastern Conference Finals. Panthers survive against the Rangers with a 3-2 overtime win. Florida's Sam Reinhart, overtime game winner in sudden death on the power play. Last 3 games in the series have been decided in overtime. This time, Florida gets a win for the first time. That series is tied 2-2, Game 5 Thursday in New York. In baseball, they played 2 in New York, and the Dodgers sweep a doubleheader from the Mets. They win Game 1 5-2, shutout win in the second game 3-0.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Lots of sunshine today with daytime highs approaching 79. Winds out of the southeast 10 to 20 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms. Tonight, lows level off around 59. Overcast skies. Overcast skies. Tomorrow, thunderstorms likely. Daytime highs approaching 71. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
8:06 is the time. You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show, KCNI, KBBN Radio. 56 degrees currently on this beautiful morning. And we have some special guests in the studio who are joining us now. Jenny Benson is back. Nice to see you, Jenny.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having us.
Jenny, the current president of the Nebraska State Education Association. You brought a guest with you.
I sure did.
So let's introduce everybody to him this morning.
All right. Well, I have been the president for the past 7 years, and it's time to turn it over to some new reins. So Tim Royers is with me. He is from Millard, and he was recently elected the new president starting September 1. So I'm bringing him around, and we're visiting across Nebraska. We've got some teacher meetings, and Tim came with me to see what's going on.
Well, Tim, welcome to the Breakfast Show. Welcome to Broken Bow. Great to meet you.
Yeah.
Give us a little background on yourself. What have you been involved in that would lead you to this new opportunity?
Yeah. Well, I'm originally from the Chicago area when I was a little kid. My dad worked for the Chicago Northwestern Railroad, so then we moved out to Omaha in the mid-'90s when Union Pacific bought the railroad. And so my family's been in Millard ever since. I graduated from Millard West in 2003, and then I went back and taught there as a social studies teacher for 13 years. And in 2016, I had the awesome privilege of being the Nebraska Teacher of the Year, and that kind of started me on this journey of being an advocate for the profession and talking about how amazing it is to be a teacher and what we need so we can, do the work that we want to do. And 4 years ago, I was elected the president in Millard. And Millard is a large enough school district. We have 23,000 kids in our district. So Millard's large enough where it's a full-time job to be the president, even though it's just for the local. And then I got very involved there because that gave me the time to go down and meet with lawmakers at the legislature, do those things. And then through that work over the past 4 years, that brought me here. So as Jenny said, I was elected to be the next NSCA president this in April, so about a month ago. And this summer, I'm learning all the ropes, and I can't wait to officially get started in September.
Yeah, I'm sure that one of your goals is to just continue the work that Jenny has done. But what are some of your goals as you move into this new role?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest goal is to really try and tackle this teacher recruitment and retention challenge. the Nebraska Department of Education put out their updated numbers for vacant teaching positions in the state, and we're up over 1,200 just empty positions across the state right now. And what's really shocking to me about that number is if you just wind the clock back 10 years ago, if you look at the 2013-2014 school year, we had less than 150 vacancies. So within 10 years, it's shot up tenfold.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the main thing, is how do we keep the folks that we have, but also how do we make sure we have an adequate number coming into the profession? In my school district in Millard, we found out we're only getting 2 secondary student teachers this fall from UNO. And we're one of the largest districts, and UNO is one of the largest teacher prep programs. So to only get 2 student teachers across all of our middle schools and high schools, it's pretty low. So I think that's probably the biggest issue I want to try and work on.
And that is an issue not just for schools. It seems like just businesses all across the state are in that struggle right now when it comes to good employees to work. I'm curious, and maybe you guys know the answer to this, maybe you don't, but as far as, I guess we can say teacher shortage, or however you want to term it, are there more struggles in the metro areas or in the rural areas?
I think that we have found, we were just talking to a group of teachers in St. Paul yesterday, and we have found that it's a problem everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think a lot of school districts have just joined classes together. So you may have had 3 fifth grade classes. Now you only have 2 fifth grade classes. So it may not look like they're missing a position, but essentially they're making their class sizes larger because there's no applicants. We were talking to some younger teachers like Tim who have been in the profession, and we're talking about 60, 70 applicants for the job they got. When I started in Lincoln Public Schools, 200 applicants for one job. So when you got on at Lincoln Public Schools, it was a big deal. Now we're not having any applicants for an elementary teaching position, and that did not use special ed. Some of the, sciences and math, they've always been more of our shortages where we're trying to get people into the profession. But I think part of it is, we need to look at the overall package of what teachers need when they're coming in, or staff. We're in the same boat with, paraprofessionals. If you can make the same amount at Dollar General as you're doing at school, and you're working 12 months a year, there are things that we as a society need to look at. And what are we prioritizing? We need to prioritize our kids. And that's another reason we're here, because we're working on our petition drive again, looking to say we have limited finite resources in this state. And how do we use those resources to recruit, retain, and then also to make sure that the environment is a good learning environment for all of our students?
You talked about the petition. Talk a little bit more about that, because you're going to be in the area for a little while in case people want to seek you out and to sign the petition. Let's start with the petition itself. Just what exactly is the petition, and what are people signing if they seek you out today?
So last year we did a petition drive. It was a very intense 90 days. We got 117,000 signatures to repeal 753. We were the 49th state in the union to not have any public dollars going into private school scholarships, vouchers, tax incentives, whatever we wanted to paint it up as. And we got that signed, and it was going to be on the ballot for the fall this year. We were working hard on that. Well, the legislative session came. And instead of letting the people decide, which was what we wanted to do, was take it to a vote. That's what they tell us, right? We're the second house. If you want to have a vote, then take it to the people, and we did. And then they took it from us. The legislature then passed a new bill that repealed 753, but put in its place a more arduous bill, and it is called LB 1402, and it is diverting public funds into private schools in a different way this time, not through voucher, not through tax incentive, but through a direct funding through the treasurer. So we are only looking to repeal Section 1 of LB 1402. And so we have to go back and get those signatures again. We have about 50 days left. We will be in the park today from 9 to 11, the town square. And anybody can, if you're registered to vote, if you're not registered to vote, you can register right then. And we think it's important for people to register to vote and to have a say. Signing the petition doesn't necessarily mean you agree with one thing or the other. Signing the petition means that people are very upset that their vote was taken from them. And that's what we're doing, is we're getting the petition signed so we can get it back on the ballot in November. And it's going very well, but we would appreciate if people wanted to come down and visit with us. We will be there. A retired teacher superintendent will be there working with us today, Howard Gaffney. And he was meeting with his coffee group this morning.
Oh, yes.
And you know about that. So Howard will be down there with some folks. And so please stop by and sign the petition.
All right. So 9 to 11 today, downtown City Square Park in Broken Bow.
Yes.
All right. I'm glad you mentioned that about the petition. This is to get it just on the ballot so that people can voice their opinion one way or the other at the ballot box.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And I think that has been resoundingly what we heard. We have people that didn't sign it last time that are just mad that they don't get to vote. And that was the first time ever anything like this has happened. The Secretary of State just came out and said that he will stand by the repeal, because at first we weren't sure. Can you do that? Can you take it off the ballot after it's been put on there? So we're kind of running two lanes in this. We're doing the petition, but we're also looking at the constitutionality of this whole situation. And we're just really disappointed that we couldn't just say, let's take it to a vote. It'll vote it up or vote it down, and then we could move on the next legislative year. But instead, we had, I don't know, Tim, 6 bills introduced this year.
Quite a few.
That were all directed at the same kind of thing. So,
and I'm sure that in the roles that you guys are in, watching things that happen within the legislature is a big part of what you do. And I'm sure very time-consuming, too, I'm guessing.
It is a lot. Tim's a social studies teacher, so he really, us talking, and we work both sides of the aisle. We've worked with Republicans and Democrats. We get a lot of good things done. We worked on a lot of what Tim was talking about, the teacher recruitment. We have some bills in place. But one of the bills we worked really hard on was we had a task force with Senator Lynn Walls regarding just safety in buildings. And we're talking infrastructure safety. And folks were saying, we don't have money in our general funds to be doing these upgrades, to have secured entrances, to do those kind of things across the state. So the legislature appropriated $10 million in grants. School districts had to apply, private and public schools had to apply for those monies. They applied for $55 million. So if we're going to use $10 million for private schools, why not use that money into something that all kids benefit from? Because all kids don't benefit from this. We have no private schools in over half of the counties in Nebraska. And that's very important for folks to think about, where is this money going to go? And I'm just going to be perfectly honest. Most of it is going to go to the diocese in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay. So today from 9 to 11, downtown Broken Bow, if you want to seek these folks out, sign the petition, or if you just have questions. I'm sure that you're not afraid of questions.
Heavens
and
no.
I'm sure you've gotten
We're
plenty.
teachers.
There you
Ask
go.
us questions.
There is no dumb question,
There is
right?
no dumb question. And Support Our Schools Nebraska is online, and that has a lot of information as well, supportourschools.nebraska.org. And you can find out all sorts of information. And if there are people out there that want to carry a petition, and it doesn't matter if you're in Custer County or not, you can be in any county and sign our petition. We have different, we have a different sheet for every county.
Sure.
So if you are, anywhere close by, and also on supportourschools.nebraska.org, it tells you all the signing events. Tomorrow we're in Lexington doing a signing event. The next day we're in Kearney. So we have signing events everywhere. And if you talk to our teachers, they typically have a petition or they know where to find one.
When is the deadline to have the petition in?
The drop drop dead deadline is July 15th, but we're hoping to have everything in. So we have, I think, 49 days as of today. So we are working hard, and it's been very, this year it was a little different because it was a short session. So we had our 90 days started while our teachers were still in school. Last year, it was a long session, so it started the 90 days after they were out of school. So we're really kicking it into gear now because our educators are able to go out there and help us. Like we had a signing in St. Paul yesterday, and our teachers were out there helping with that as well.
All right. Well, we'll encourage folks to come and see you today between the hours of 9 and 11 in downtown Broken Bow. Is there anything else that either one of you wanted to mention before we wrap up our time this morning?
Well, one thing I wanted to mention, I always talk about back to school, and I realized that this is summer, but I was at the store yesterday here in Broken Bow, and I was hearing parents talking about, oh my gosh, what am I doing with these kids all summer, And I would say, really work with kids on, those fundamental skills, even your little kids in the car, reading signs, going to the grocery store, kind of making it a game out of learning, and really, really limit those screen times. We are really struggling across the nation with too much screen time. And then they come into class and they have to sit and they have to learn some skills, and they've been on the screens because, I've got 12 grandkids. I know how easy it is to hand them a screen. Yeah. Trust me, when they're bickering, I'm like, go to your corner, right? But you have to limit that, and you have to also say, it is gorgeous outside. Get outside, do some things, let kids be kids, let them enjoy the summer. But also remember that, we lose some learning over the summer, and it's important that kids are ready and prepared to go back to school in the fall. Parents and grandparents, and it doesn't matter if you don't have kids in the school system. I always say that kids are 25% of our population, but they are 100% of our future. Whether you have any kids in school right now or not, you are part of this society, and kids are our most important investment we have.
Indeed. Well, great to see you both. Tim, great to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure.
And best of luck to you. Now, Jen, I've got to ask you, so where does your future take you?
Well,
now?
It'll probably take me back to the classroom after a few months of R&R.
Yeah.
I need to take a breath. This has been, I said I didn't sign on to be president and know there was going to be COVID or 2 petition drives, So like I said, I have a lot of grandkids. So I will be taking a couple months off, and then I'll probably be going back to the classroom for, I've got a few good years. I'm not as young as Tim, but I got a few good years left in me. I teach special ed. It's very interesting, though, looking for a job right now. It's almost like a NFL draft. Where do you want to go? You want a job? I got a job for you. You want to move? So teaching special ed is something that I know I can find a job in anywhere. But I'm, going to look around and see what the future holds for me. But it'll be working with kids for sure.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you both for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
8:22 is the time. You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
If it grows, you can find it at the Aeroseed Greenhouse. From vegetables, including sweet potato plants and flower bedding plants, to already planted pots and hanging baskets, to the garden flags, doormats, and decorative pots and planters. Aeroseed is stocked up with the items you need this spring season. They would love to help you add a splash of color to your garden and fresh garden-grown food to your table. Visit the Aeroseed Greenhouse just north of the train tracks on 10th Avenue in Broken Bow.
Rose Lane Homes is part of the Vetter Senior Living family located in Loop City. They provide short-term rehabilitation, assisted living, memory support, and long-term care. Join them this weekend for Polish Days in Loop City. Thursday at 6 p.m., they will be hosting the Polish Prince and Princess Contest for ages 0 to 5 at St. Joseph's Parish Hall, 723 North 8th Street. Rose Lane Homes in Loop City, hoping to see you this weekend at Polish Days.
Nebraska State Bank believes in our strong rural communities. We believe in our local ag producers and their capacity for innovation and growth. At Nebraska State Bank, we work hard to support our customers' growth, and that means growing ourselves as well. We offer a variety of banking products to make banking easier, especially during busy times, such as making payments online, signing loan documents digitally, or mobile depositing a check. These are just a few ways we can help simplify your life. Visit nesb.bank or call any of our branches to learn more about how we can make banking easier for you. Nebraska State Bank, member FDIC.
And we welcome you back to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Looks like Dave's getting hooked up, and we'll be going to Dave here shortly for information regarding the Oconto barbecue, the Blowing the Doors Off barbecue in Oconto, coming up this weekend, and we'll have more information on that for you coming up within the hour. Since we have just a few minutes before we take you to Oconto, let's tell you what's showing at the movies in Broken Bow. Now, these movies will currently be showing tonight and tomorrow yet. One of the big movies in the arena right now is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. That's right, another installment of the Mad Max series. Snatched from the green place of many mothers, young Furiosa falls into the hands of a great biker horde led by the warlord Dementus. So see how it all plays out. It's showing now at the Fox Theater in Broken Bow. Also one for the entire family, Garfield, your favorite lasagna-eating cat, is back, this time voiced by Chris Pratt. Garfield is showing now at the Fox Theater in Broken Bow. And another great family animated film that is out right now is If, standing for Imaginary Friends. After discovering she can see everyone's imaginary friends, a girl embarks on a magical adventure to reconnect forgotten ifs with their kids. So those are the movies that are showing tonight and tomorrow as we turn the page and see what's going to play through the weekend into next week. Well, it's the same three. That's right. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, Garfield, and If will all show through the weekend on into next week, and all three movies will continue their run at the Fox Theater here in Broken Bow. Also, we do want you to know that starting this summer, they're going to kick up the Summer Movie Series, which has been a real popular hit during the summertime at the Fox Theater. And the first Summer Movie Series, which is sponsored by Markham Construction, is going to come up on Wednesday, June the 5th. Showtime will be at 2 o'clock, $2 to get in and watch the film, and they're going to show The Croods, A New Age. So mark that on your calendar. The $2 Summer Movie Series begins June 5th with The Croods, A New Age, sponsored by Markham Construction. And, of course, don't forget, one of the most popular nights to go to the movies here in Broken Bow is free popcorn night on Tuesday, thanks to the Nebraska State Bank. And to find out more about the movies that are showing, you can even get your tickets online by going to watchthefox.com. And we'll continue with more of the breakfast show after these words. You're listening to KCNI, KBBN Radio.
Cattlemen, spring is here and things are starting to green up. But alongside the good green like pasture grass and trees come the bad greens. Musk thistles, mullenweed, buckbrush, and other weeds. Let Aero Aviation help you get the bad green under control this spring. They use the latest in aircraft and GPS technology and crop protection products while keeping the good green in your pocket. Call Casey, Melissa, or Kim today and schedule spring spraying with Aero Aviation, 872-5113.
Whenever an occasion calls for a card, Varney Pharmacy in Broken Bow has the solution. Lane and Tree cards are America's favorite greeting cards. In stock are packaged thank you notes, boxed assorted cards, notepads, bookmarks, and of course a nice assortment of cards for all occasions. For a great downtime activity or for a quality time with friends and family, Suns Out puzzles in new designs with a variety of scenes are available. Varney Pharmacy, just across from the square in downtown Broken Bow.
8:27 is the time. Well, Dave says that they are ready to go in Oconto. So let's find out what's happening. Good morning, David J. Burney.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Brent. We are at Eggleston Oil, and so far it's going to be the Cliff and Dave show. Dan must be out delivering fuel or having a cup of coffee at his house. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know either. Sandy said she's not sure where he's at, but she did call and make sure he knew about this, and Jared, so.
Okay. All right. Well, we can handle it if Dan doesn't make it. We want to promote the barbecue, Blowing the Doors Off barbecue here in Oconto this Saturday. And I think we've talked about it every year, but we should. What a situation where it was a bad deal that turned into a good deal, a good event.
It was a change It's, when the tornado hit, there was a change, and that's all there was to it. And the good thing about it was we were looking for ways to raise money. The old fireman's ball wasn't working anymore. If we made $200 or $300 after we paid a band, we were pretty dang lucky for that. Plus, we've had our regular donations from landowners, so we send out letters to them. But because of the price of equipment for fire departments this year, or not just this year, but these last 20 years, even, it is getting outrageous. And the tax dollars that come in from revenues off the taxes, it does not cover the cost of things. That's why we're raising money to help buy the things that we need on the trucks.
Mm-hmm. And you have a good department. I think you guys are proud of your fire department and EMT's service. For a community of this size, it's outstanding, but it takes a lot of money to have the up-to-date equipment.
Yes, it does. And, we got our new ambulance just a couple of years ago, and now the price of a new ambulance just like that's another $100,000 more. Wow. And it's just how much it's gone up. But I think I had a guy tell me a lot of that is due to because of the grant monies that the government has turned loose to help fire departments. So that kind of boosts everybody's price up a little bit. We can sell an ambulance, make more money, and that profit margin's pretty big on their side of the deal.
Isn't that funny how that works? There's a little extra money around, so the price goes up, and it just doesn't really work out that much better.
Right. And even our fire truck that we got back in 2005 was delivered in January 2005. That truck is twice its price now if we try to replace it. Yeah. And it's just what has gone up is just amazing. But that truck will be 20 years old in January already.
That's crazy.
It's amazing. My youngest daughter was just a year old when we got it.
That's how you can remember those sorts of things. Well, the thing about fire departments and emergency services, the equipment has to be up to date, if not at least highly maintained. Right. And it's sitting, waiting to be, of service to the community. But the maintenance might even be more when you have to make sure they're ready to go when they're not being used every day. So you have that expense.
Well, and right now our rural board is in the process of building a new grass rig. Our old 77 GMC is not as reliable, and we're going to sell that. We got a new 4-door cab chassis out at my house right now. I'm trying to keep it under cover for the weather, and they got everything figured out what we're going to do for a build on it. And that's another thing. They didn't realize how much it was going to cost to build equipment onto that truck, and excuse me, it'll cost more to put that on there than what the truck costs. Yeah. But it'll be more reliable. Yeah. And that's the big thing about it. If you get into fire situation, you don't want something breaking down. I mean, that's the old, we call it number 21. It's our grass rig. It's just not reliable enough for me to send it out on a fire anyway. Yeah. I don't want to take anybody's lives just because we can't keep up with that.
Take a chance with it.
Yep.
But the good news right now is, I don't know how we compare in rain, but we're 3.5+ inches this month in Broken Bow and the surrounding close by area there, and you guys look pretty good. When I drove down here, it looks pretty nice.
Amazingly nice and green. Where I'm digging right now, the grass is growing fast enough that it's not drying out underneath.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. It just keeps that moisture in the ground, and we're pretty fortunate for what we've got. And I know it's kind of hindered some of the farming going on, but we needed moisture, and we could use more. That's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and that sure helps your fire departments are not kind of on call all the time because of dry conditions, and you certainly and many others have experienced that the last few years.
Yeah.
And we've had those major grass fires last year, and of course up at Anselmo, north of Anselmo, the grass fire up that way that still sticks in our mind. So we don't need any more of that. But when we do have it, you guys are called in just like everybody else to help. You call others to help you.
Yep.
And with that protection, I think people should feel assured and thankful that you guys are on call all the time. You have your own worlds, your own jobs, your own businesses.
Yeah, that's the thing about volunteerism. You're taking yourself out of your regular livelihood to go do that. But, it's always been a thing for me. It's just a way to give back to community. I mean, we moved back here in '68 from Lexington. My folks grew up around here, and it when they say it takes a community to raise a kid, well, I'm glad that my community was here for me when I was growing up. I mean, that's why I like to give back for that reason. And the last I'm trying to think, last fall was 38 years for me on the fire department, which is kind of hard to believe too. I'm getting old, Dave.
Hey, you're younger than me, but we have had some travels. We sure have, and a lot of that is the good memories that we've had with the O'Connell Fun Days here, and then along came that tornado on Halloween night, and
that was a scary night.
It was a scary night, and blew the doors off everything here, and that's how the barbecue was named. It was a great idea. And I just think the location that you have here is really perfect for this, because you have friends and neighbors down Highway 40. You have friends and neighbors from the Lexington area that come up, and Callaway, Arnold area, and then, of course, Broken Bow and beyond come. So you got everybody coming all directions here to a town of, I don't know what the population is right now.
Well, let's say 145 or something like that.
145, and you increase it by 2,000 or more, 2,500 sometimes.
Well, our biggest draw was like 1,873 people and that was a big year. It was amazing that all those. Of course, you every year think, oh man, there's a lot of people out there, but. We try to do the count through the gate with the ticket sales, and even 1,100 and 1,200 people. It's good to see that turnout. And we had, like last year's, I think we had some people not coming because there was a chance of storms last year.
Right.
And that was probably a hindrance, but there's so much going on anymore these days that we can't just take a weekend and hope it works. We just take a weekend and do it.
I think that's the only way we can, because you're right. We're covering, I think, 3 different things this weekend, and it's going to be that way through the rest of the summer. So you can't really find a weekend where there isn't something else going on. You're sticking to your date here. And I think people just love the barbecue. They love the music. They love the atmosphere, the relaxation when they get here. You can make it whatever you want to make out of it here at O'Connell. You can come for just the food. You can come for the music and the food.
Oh, and the ice cream.
And the ice cream. A couple beers available if you want to have a beer, and good company.
Yeah, and it's the variety of age of people that come is just amazing. And that's the good thing about this. We want the kids, the parents, the grandparents all to come and sit down and relax and have a good evening, and not travel so far, but we've had people come from quite a few miles away, and because they wanted to experience it. And of course, then there's some people that come up and say, how do you guys get this thing going? And you start talking to them and you tell them what goes on, and they're just like, holy cow, this is a lot of work.
We thought we wanted to do this, but maybe we don't. But
not last year, 2 years ago, when we got started again after COVID, one of the cookers told us that he was in a contest, and a bunch of other cookers and him were sitting around there talking. He said, we got talking about all the contests going on. We go up to O'Connell, and I said, gosh, you guys get to go to O'Connell? And he goes, absolutely. And he said, what you guys probably don't realize is you started something here that has grown across the state. And it is something not everybody does it the same, but the outcome of it is probably the same, because everybody's trying to do a fundraiser, or they're trying to get people out in the community to get away from home, and get out and enjoy the evening and have some good food and entertainment and just relax for a while.
Well, let's talk about that in a little more detail. I don't imagine things are too much different from years past. The cookers, the barbecue guys, come in Friday.
Well, some of them they'll come in starting Thursday.
Oh, they'll come in on Thursday. Okay.
It's because some of them are bringing campers so they can have a place to sleep while they're here, because they cook pretty much starting on Friday, and they'll cook all through Friday night into Saturday, and they got to be right there with their cookers.
Okay, so it starts there. They stay up all night.
They might catch a nap or two.
They might catch a little break there, and then that particular afternoon on Saturday, this coming Saturday, there's judging going on, and you have judges come in. And that's changed a little bit, having the opportunity to do it a couple different times. First time was earlier on, and you tasted everything.
Yep.
And the mistake one makes
is not stopping, going to the next one.
Getting a little carried away in the beginning,
right.
Not knowing how much you're going to eat. Now you have that broke down a little bit in different categories, so different judges taste different things, right?
And you know, any judging is kind of a gray area anyway, because what we're doing is we're not worried about getting professional judges or anything like that. We're getting people that like good food.
Yeah.
And what's the thing is, the contestants aren't paying to get into the contest. We're paying for all the meat, all the charcoal, and we give them some money for their extra things that they need with their cooking, because some of them use spices and sauces or something. That is where these guys have really helped us out a lot. They don't want to get paid either. They've enjoyed doing it and helping us raise money, and they've done this for 23 years now.
How many chefs will be coming in? How many cooking stations?
Well, this year we're only going to have 7. We had 9. One had to back out because of a family situation, another one because of a health situation.
Sure.
And it might not just been that person, but it takes a big crew to do all this cooking. And there'll be 5 and 6 people in a crew just cooking and working on stuff all through the nights, and
another 5 or 6 for serving.
Yeah, they'll bring in a bunch of people to help out, and it takes quite a bit to do, and it's a lot of hard work for them too.
Oh, it is, yeah.
That's what we're so glad that they're willing to do this. I mean, it's amazing that what they go through to help us.
Well, they bring their talents, and they want that bragging rights that they get to get up on the stage Saturday evening and claim. Jared, how you doing?
Pretty good. I said that's been the fun part of having teams back that have been here multiple years. The teams get to know each other.
The camaraderie.
So when they are doing the awards, you get a lot of guys razzing each other, that was my award last year, I deserve that,
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of fun.
Well, they have fun doing it, and then I'm sure they're like, what's that guy doing over there a little different this year? I wonder what he's doing. And
I've seen them walk around from different places. I think they talk what they're doing just so they get an idea how other guys cook, and maybe give them an idea, because some of these guys do this as a profession, cooking for weddings or graduations, different events. So they, hey, I like what you just did. What did you do? Maybe I can sell that myself to somebody else.
Yeah. Have you ever had the opportunity to judge, or too busy doing other things?
I do the tabulating from the judges.
That's right, you do. Well, and I think there's some people that have made good friends being judges too, because you're always invited different people to come in, and next thing you know, they've become friends doing that. So there's a lot of good relationships built here. And this kind of event, Jared, you probably see people go, well, see you next year. And they know that they're going to see each other next year, and it's going to be kind of like a reunion. And one of the reasons they come back is to see those people.
Well, in fact, we had a team that for about 5 or 6 years in a row came here. Most of the guys were from Texas. The head guy of them lived down in Lexington, I think. Mm-hmm. Well, they were all college friends. So they would gather up here, and this was their college reunion. They would cook. They got to where they started driving through tornadoes, trying to get through Oklahoma City and everything else, and just kind of said it's getting to be a lot of work for one weekend. So.
Get to Oconto. Yeah. So you have 7 stations, 7 cookers coming in, and their crews.
Yeah.
And then you have the people that come in to enjoy it. So we're talking about Oconto becoming a community of about 2,000, somewhere in there, 1,500 to 2,000. And you have a setup that you have to have different fencing up and different things. You guys have done it long enough. I'm sure you learn something every year.
Oh, yeah.
But you have a lot of volunteers it takes to do all of that nobody probably notices when they walk in. It's always there, right?
There are a lot of firemen's spouses and children that show up. Of course, as kids get older and move out, some of them will come back once in a while help us out, but you always have a different crew, but it always seems like they're energetic and ready to go. I think this evening we start with putting the fence up.
Yeah, we start the fencing tonight. I got to get fencing today, too.
So it actually gets going, but you probably plan it and work on it off and on throughout the year, but this is when the actual labor starts tonight.
Yep.
Right?
Now the real work begins.
Okay, all right.
And you know that thing about that helping, we have to have so much help that we draw in high school groups, and if they're doing fundraisers, so we pay them to help come in, and because it's more than what we could handle now.
I'm sure.
I mean, when this started out, we had 300 people the first year.
Yeah.
And it was just. We just had somebody cooking beans and some meat, and that was all it was. And the next year we did a little change for it. We had 3 cookers that first contest deal or whatever, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, here we go. And it grew.
It really did.
And so now we have to make sure that we got our bases covered.
I don't think I ever forget being here. Maybe one of the years that it really blew up and really got big, and you had the gates set up, and I think you've changed that now where it flows.
Yes,
more.
That's lessons learned.
But I remember looking, and the line was clear back past the Catholic Church down the street there. And
it was over 2 blocks deep.
My wife was going down and putting bracelets on people. Checking IDs before they even got to the gate. They were
good for her.
I don't know who was helping her, but that's what they said. Well, we can't. Let's get that part done so they can get through the gate a little quicker, at least.
Yeah. Now you've got that to where the flow at 5 o'clock. A lot of people want to get here right on time, and they just get in pretty easy, right?
Right. We started the advanced ticket sales, so they just come in, hand you the ticket, you get ID'd, and
express
there
lane.
you go.
Yeah, it is
and
kind of an
then
express.
We started running 2 cash registers, so we have 2 lines of people coming through, so it really sped up the entrance very well.
I think a lot of people want to get here on time because they want to be able to taste all the different stations.
Well, that's not always true. There have been times where I don't remember who that guy was. They waited over by the cafe in the shade till they opened the gate, and he was the first when he come in. He put his chair right down and sat down. He had a spot fan.
Yeah. So we're up to 5 o'clock when people can come here. They can get advance tickets, adults, I think, for $17. Some of those are still for sale.
Yes, they're always for sale. The Chamber in Broken Bow called yesterday, Stephanie did, and I never even thought about getting the tickets up there. She had people wanting tickets. My wife went to Broken Bow last night for her grandson's baseball game, and she dropped tickets off to have them dropped into the chamber office.
So they can get them there.
They can get them at the chamber office. And if you can call down here to O'Connell, to Eggleston's, or my office, we'll help get somebody get lined up. And just, if you want advance tickets, we can do it.
All right. Well, I was in Callaway last week and stopped to see Brett Eggleston at the Callaway Hospital, and I said, Christy wanted me to pick up some tickets, and he says, well, I sold them all. So I think they got some more there too.
I sold some here in Kearney a few nights last week. I went down to a meeting with there's going to be a group up here that's going to have a table set up just to explain what they do. They're not doing these for fundraising. They're just a membership drive with it's called the Red Knights. It's a fireman's motorcycle group.
Oh, okay.
And when they said, can we set up, I said, yeah, but I don't know where we'd put you, but we kind of got it worked in. And I said, are you going to need any tickets to get in? He goes, yeah, we're going to need some. But, well, the whole group wasn't there the other night. So the guy said, well, they missed out on their turn of getting their tickets early. So,
hi, Dan. Well, the train of thought there is, okay, 17 in advance, but 20 at the gate, and it just makes a little more money for the fire department. And I think a lot of us just go, you know what, they're going to let me in, I'm going to leave a 20 there for a ticket, and it makes a little more money. So if you don't get the advance tickets, everyone is welcome to come. It doesn't make any difference.
It's still a pretty good bargain if you stop and think. If you go to a fast food restaurant with 2 people, it doesn't take much to spend $30, $40.
It doesn't anymore.
Here you get to come in for all you can eat.
Yeah.
There you're limited to your value meal.
You get to eat all you want and feel miserable because you ate too much.
You know that you've done your job when you.
But if you got to throw a little ice cream in there, that helps out.
You got that. You got that. So they come in. They for $20 at the gate, 17 in advance. Then you have a special price for a bit younger than that,
right?
As well. Then what time the music start?
5 o'clock when the gates are open.
Okay, and that'll be
South Loop Sunrise again.
You'll have to listen to Cliff again.
You don't have to. You can bring your hearing protection. So
bring your mowing.
You're there. Just learn how to block me out.
Well, I think a lot of the folks, like we mentioned earlier, they come for the food and the music, and I know you're going to have another band following.
Yep.
But I think a lot of people just come because they want to catch you guys at least once a year, and they know that you're going to be playing, and they like the different songs that you play and some of the oldies but goodies. And
well, we've got this little glitch in our band now. Dan Ritter spends the winter in Arizona.
Oh, that rascal.
Yeah, and he didn't make it back till almost. Well, it was after my birthday in April that he got back, so we haven't had much time to practice even.
Well, let's just put it this way: come to the rehearsal.
Yeah, we're gonna have a stage rehearsal, live stage rehearsal.
They're so good they don't need practice, right?
That's right.
This guy does.
That's right. And the name of the band that will follow, I don't have that in my
James Lee Band.
James Lee Band, because okay, all right.
I keep getting that messed up too. Don't feel bad.
Okay.
There are so many. There's a lot of local groups that are so good in it.
There are,
and they're touring.
Yeah, out on the road.
And it's amazing. But I got a message from Joe Glazer from up at Spalding. He's doing the sound system for the band, and I don't know if there's anything special we need to do, and I wanted to just get here early, get the trailer unloaded because we're going to need the space.
All right, so 5 o'clock music starts and goes until midnight. There'll be a break in the middle.
Yep.
During that break, is that when the raffles and all of that?
Yeah, they raffle off our prizes. They do the awards for the cookers. Some thank yous to people that have helped us. Just a little break, a lot of the people to reorganize their seats and grab another drink and get situated for the next show.
Get set. So off the top of my head, I know there's a grill that's going to be given away, a rifle.
There's a Henry rifle. It's in the Blued series, an 870 shotgun. Oh, goodness.
And
there's some gift cards.
Gift cards, grocery cart, beef and wine package.
Yep.
Yeah. So those will all be announced.
And then we're going to auction off another a Henry Golden Boy that's engraved for the fire department barbecue. This will be our third time we're doing that, and there will be a knife set that Don Nelson from Berwyn is donating. It's not just a knife this year; it's a 3-piece knife set that we're going to. That's an auction.
Custom made.
Custom made knives. He makes a beautiful knives. I haven't got to talk to him since he was down at the knife show in Oklahoma, but he said it was a lot of fun going down there, learn a lot of stuff, get to meet a lot of people.
I talked to him in Broken Bow, and he said he was doing some experimenting on making a really fancy knife for us. So
that'll be great. So you got some great prizes people can register for. I think we're coming down. We're kicking off our 75th anniversary celebration here at the event, and we're going to be giving away over $7,000 worth of cash and other prizes, and so we'll have a registration for that starting. You guys are our kickoff, and I'm assuming Adam Smith is going to MC again this year.
And he's been very helpful and with our project from the very beginning.
Right.
And he missed one year because he emceed the Cattle Barons Ball up at Anselmo a few years ago.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. He hated to do it, but he went to school with that lady and Mrs. Johnson, and she called him up, and he said,
twisted his arm a little bit.
Yeah, she might have.
Well, I think that's kind of a side story because, of course, Adam Smith with the River, now with K-Bear, Rural Radio. But when he was coming here and judging, he had his kids with him, and I think the son is actually in culinary. He's
judging too this year, I think.
Is he judging? Okay.
Because he always sit around just watch, and he'd sample a little food at the end. And I think one year we were short a judge, somebody couldn't show up, and he volunteered to do it, and I think ever since then he said he would be a judge.
When his son was probably in junior high, I can't remember. He said they were going down the road and said something about summer barbecue, and his son's going, ribs.
I think it's become a challenge or an argument between him and Adam as to who gets to judge the ribs, because usually one of them does it and then somebody else doing the other. So.
And I think he went to school for culinary to be a chef.
I can't remember.
I believe you're right.
So look what you guys have done. You created another chef. So again, it's all different stories, different relationships, a whole lot of fun, a whole lot of work, and it's only going to pay off if people come and have a good time, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And if the weather holds out a little longer.
Yeah. Well, when you do outdoor events, you just don't want to look at the forecast, Cliff.
No.
It's just not.
We've had some rain before, and it. I think last year, for example, it rained hard for about 15 minutes. We had a lot of people just went out, sit in their cars, waited for it to pass through, came back in. We have the weather service here watching radar right here on site to give us a heads up so we kind of know what's going on. We can announce to people, this will be just a quick shower.
So
you can take a little cover, come back in.
Bring your umbrella.
Yeah. And most people are very good about it. Last year, I think it was going to start coming down pretty good later in the evening, so we just set the band up in the fire hall. They played in there and still had a good time. I mean, some people had to leave because it's hard to stand outside and get soaked for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, and that band equipment's
pretty expensive.
Supposed to get wet.
Yeah, you want to get that. You want to get that to a dry spot. So I know you guys are prepared for about everything. I know that you'd love to have another big crowd, make a little money, most of all, highlight this friendly little town of Oconto. Before we close, and I don't know what time it is, let me double check here. I wanted to ask you if you had anything. I've got about 5 minutes here. We're at Eggleston Oil, and Cliff's business is right down the street here, Badgley Well. Jared, you're in the shop.
Well, he's out on the truck once.
I do a little both.
Twice a day.
Now. Okay,
he's become a multitasker.
I'm just the middleman. Depends on where we're behind the most at, then I go help with that part.
Okay, so you're not in the shop all the time.
What's he doing back here already?
He doesn't leave till Friday.
Oh, he doesn't leave till Friday. Cade just got married this last weekend. I didn't think we'd see him for 2-3 months.
He looks pretty good for just getting married. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. So, kind of run down the crew here, Jared, if you would. You're kind of sharing duties here, and
I help drive truck with Dad. He's beginning to think about retiring, I believe. So
yeah,
he just doesn't like to slow down. He wants to say he can.
He's gonna drive Sandy crazy if he quits. That's all there is to it.
And Mom is in the office.
As always.
My son Cade is beginning to take over shop duties, and then I have a nephew that comes up, one of my older brother's boys that helps in the shop also.
Okay. Family crew.
Yep.
That's cool. You don't find that very often anymore.
And most of the time we get along.
Most of the time. That's pretty good, Kate.
What's that?
That you get along most of the time.
Does that mean 51% of the time you get along?
That's right. 51%.
That's better than 49, right?
That's right.
All right. Well, guys. And then down the street, Badgley Well's been serving this area for a long time. Your family involvement for a long time?
Dad was in the construction business and trenching. Got in the well business in '86, and then when he passed on, I took over the business. But now we're slowly stepping out. Okay. Neil's retiring, and he's helping out a little bit. And I'm gonna get through the summer, and I'm not gonna retire. I'm gonna retread.
Okay, that's good.
I've been around the business for over 50 years, and it's time to experience something else for a while again. And I did some trucking back in the 80s, but that wasn't very long. But
he wants to buy a gas station.
Whoa.
No, he doesn't. But we are transitioning over. Rocky Dockweiler is buying the well truck, and we're going to help him.
Oh, fantastic.
To keep well service around in the area. And hopefully by the end of summer, I'll have some stuff all lined up so I can make it through the winter without freezing to death.
Oh, that's a good idea. Well, Rock's got the experience with the underground, the ditching and all of that.
Yeah, and when he started, somebody said, that's going to hurt your business. And no, it isn't going to help me because I can't do it all.
Yeah.
There's just that much business to do that stuff.
Well, it's good to hear that it's going to continue, and I know you guys are going to continue at Eggleston Oil. You got the whole family. And as far as Dan retiring, I'm going to wait and see on that.
You better be checking what the weather like. There might be a little freezing in some places.
He retires, and Mom will put in twice the hours here.
She might not go home with it.
There you go.
And I just don't see Dan and Sandy going to Arizona for the winter.
No,
I just don't think that's going to happen. But you guys...
Well, it's about time that Dan slowed down and started enjoying life.
I know it.
I mean, there's been years that he'd go, I wish I could do it. Well, just go do it. Yeah. And you know what? When my dad died at 62, it was an eye-opener for me. By God, just go do that stuff.
Yeah,
don't wait.
I think Dan enjoys the cab of that truck singing along to those country songs. I mean,
that could be.
And in the summer months, I'm in the truck almost full-time. We run two trucks, and that has helped a lot. Most of the time, we think a late night is 10 or 11 o'clock at night, which is much better than 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I don't know how he did that. And with two, you guys can kind of share the area because you cover a pretty wide area.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And then if we get a call on Sunday, he can say, hey, why don't you go grab that one real quick? I'm going to stay home.
And you could say, well, Dad, why don't you? No, I never.
There you go. Turn to that 51-49% time agreement, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I'm getting along, right?
Well, guys, thanks for talking to us today. It's been a lot of fun. The barbecue is going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to coming down and hearing you guys play and hear the music and eat the good food and have a good time. And I think people just like the atmosphere here, laid back. You can make of it what you want, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Well, we're looking forward to having it, and it's a lot of work, but we will get done and we'll start planning again for the next year.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Back to the studio.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Going to be a great day. Oconto Volunteer Fire Department hosting the annual Blowing the Doors Off Barbecue Saturday, June 1st. Start serving at 5 o'clock. Some live entertainment to enjoy, too. South Loop Sunrise from 5 to 8. They'll do their raffle drawing and auction at 7, then the James Lee Band from 8 to midnight or so. It's all you can eat. Get your tickets in advance or a little bit cheaper if you do that. $17 in advance for adults, $20 at the gate. Children ages 5 to 12, $10. So check it out. Going to be a fun time this Saturday, the Blowing the Doors Off Barbecue in Oconto. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll catch up on the news. You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Tired of unexpected car troubles putting a misfire in your day? Introducing C&M Auto in Anselmo. For routine maintenance to major repairs of gas and diesel cars or light and heavy-duty trucks, go with C&M Auto. They boast the latest diagnostics to diagnose and fix your vehicle's issues with quick response and a very competitive labor rate. Plus emergency 24-hour service rates outside their 9 to 5 Monday through Friday hours. Call 308-749-2277 for C&M Auto, located south of Chandler's Honey off Highway 2 in Anselmo. C&M Auto.
Don't let a dry spell or a lackluster lawn get you down. Sharon Lawn Care and Sprinkler Repair specializes in both revitalizing lawns and keeping them beautiful. Have them come to your home or business and worry about applying fertilizer with their 5-step program. Then sell the lawnmower and have them cruise by and take care of that too. To keep your lawn happy, ask about sprinkler repair and aeration. Licensed and insured, serving Custer County and beyond. 308-870-0348.
Sharon Lawn Care and Sprinkler Repair, where the grass is always greener.
Do you have a laundry list of projects to do around your home? Refresh your space by completing the list of home improvement projects with the help of a HELOC from Burning Bank. If an updated look is not enough and you're ready to buy a new home, we can help with that too. Navigating a home purchase can be confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let our friendly, experienced staff guide you to owning the home of your dreams. You can apply in person, online at burningbank.com, or give us a call at 308-872-2757 to get you started. Burning Bank, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 473773, member FDIC.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. The jury will begin deliberations at Donald Trump's criminal hush money trial today, but first, they'll get instructions from the judge. CBS's Errol Barnett is at the courthouse in New York.
Judge Merchant will walk through what the law is and how the jury should apply the law to determining if the 34 felony counts against Trump are something that he is guilty of beyond a reasonable doubt or not.
Closing arguments expected today in Boise in the case of Chad Daybell, the man accused of killing his wife and two of his girlfriend's children. Lori Vallow Daybell's already been sentenced to life with no parole. Two 2-year-old pandas from China will arrive at the National Zoo by the end of the year. Smithsonian Secretary Lonnie Bunch.
People can visit the pandas in person for free or watch them on the Panda Cam with millions of people across the globe.
The zoo returned 3 pandas last year amid rising tensions between the U.S. and China. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In the NBA Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals saw the Timberwolves beat the Mavericks in Dallas 105-100 to stay alive in the series. Minnesota's Big 2 was better than Dallas's Big 2. Anthony Edwards, 29 points, 10 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns, 25 points in the win for Minnesota. For Dallas, Luka Doncic, 28 points, 15 boards. Kyrie Irving, just 16 points in the loss. Dallas still leads the series 3-1, but Minnesota's still alive. We'll have a Game 5 Thursday in Minneapolis. NHL Game 4 Eastern Conference Finals. Panthers survive against the Rangers with a 3-2 overtime win. Florida's Sam Reinhart, overtime game winner in sudden death on the power play. Last 3 games in the series have been decided in overtime. This time, Florida gets a win for the first time. That series is tied 2-2, Game 5 Thursday in New York. In baseball, they played 2 in New York, and the Dodgers sweep a doubleheader from the Mets. They win Game 1 5-2, shutout win in the second game 3-0.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Lots of sunshine today with daytime highs approaching 79. Winds out of the southeast 10 to 20 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms. Tonight, lows level off around 59. Overcast skies. Overcast skies. Tomorrow, thunderstorms likely. Daytime highs approaching 71. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
The warm season is here. Feeling motivated to get some projects done? Your first stop should be Ansley Lumber and Supply. If you aren't as motivated as you'd like to be, when you see the quality products and materials they sell to put on your home, you'll be ready to go. Composite decking from TimberTech and Armadillo will stand the test of time. Pella and Marvin windows will keep the outside air out and the inside air in. Top it all with Tamco Titan XT roofing, tough like a roof should be. Metal is another option for your barn dominium shop or other roof as well. Ansley Lumber and Supply, downtown Ansley.
Hello, I'm Chris Smith of the Palmer Monument Company. You already know about the advantages of pre-selecting your family memorial. Now there's yet another good reason to come and see us today. For the entire month of June, with a coupon from the newspaper, you'll receive additional savings off our already sale prices. We'll assist you in selecting the stone, the inscription, and the artwork, and we'll save you money too. Come see us during the After Memorial Day sale at the Palmer Monument Company in Broken Bow and Lexington.
Headaches, ear-ringing, neck pain, dizziness, brain fog. Is your jaw pain to blame? Pearson Physical Therapy wants to be your partner in finding out. Tension and dysfunction in the jaw and surrounding muscles can lead to a number of symptoms that disrupt your daily life. It can be hard to know who to seek out for help. We invite you to come see us at Pearson Physical Therapy to learn how your jaw dysfunction can be managed so that you can get back to not having to deal with daily aggravation. Call us at 872-5800 or stop by on West Highway 2, Broken Bow.
9:08 is the time. Mostly sunny here at our studios. Winds are easterly around 10 miles an hour now. Barometer 30.18 and the humidity 65%. No precipitation recorded here at our studios in the past 24 hours. So the precip total for the month of May still showing 3 inches and 74 100ths for the month as recorded here at our studios. High yesterday in Broken Bow hit 79 with the low dropping to 46. Our sunset for this evening is scheduled for 9:03. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
There is a new bar and grill in central Nebraska in Hazard called The Den. The Den is open 11 a.m. to late night Wednesday through Saturday. There are daily lunch and dinner specials like prime rib night on Saturday. On Saturday, June 1st, there's live music with Brandon Kyle. Saturday, June 8th, live blues with J-Rod. And on Thursday, June 13th, from Saturday Night Live, Jeff Richards. For more info, call 407-694-1538 or call The Den in Hazard at 308-216-2454.
Hi, Central Nebraska. This is Liana with Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency. As a part of our constant search for great ways to serve our customers, I'm excited to announce that Lori Pandorf-Leeper has joined our team in Callaway as an experienced licensed agent. So whether you're needing new home, auto, business, farm, ranch, or life and health insurance, or maybe you're just checking in on your current coverage options, reach out to Liana, Chip, or Lori at Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency.
It's past your time for those cows. Save time and money with a new satellite water monitoring system from Moline Seed and Fence. Monitor every gallon of water and be alerted if your levels fall below your settings. Call today for an appointment for installation. With time saved, you now have time to cross fence pastures and repair and replace fence. Choose from a wide selection of fencing supplies. Creosote post, hedge post, fiberglass post, barbed wire, and so much more at Moline Seed and Fence, located north of Gothenburg. Call today, 308-529-0781.
10 past the hour, Brent back with you here in the studio for the remainder of the show on this Wednesday morning. And because it's Wednesday, I know what you're all asking yourself. I mean, you woke up this morning and the first question that was running through your mind is, what's for Wednesday at Chapin's Furniture in Square One? Well, we're going to tell you right now. Come in today and receive half off all recliners. Wow. Check out their great selection and pick one for you, or here's a good idea, and I hope my kids are listening. Surprise Dad with a new recliner for Father's Day. Today only. Today only. This is what's for Wednesday. 50% off all recliners at Chapin's Furniture. You'll find Chapin's Furniture in Square One Boutique, south side of the square in Broken Bow. That is what's for Wednesday. Well, coming up tomorrow, of course, it'll be Market on the Square in Broken Bow, sponsored in part by the Broken Bow Chamber of Commerce. So come on down and visit with the vendors that'll be there, farmers, crafters, and bakers, every Thursday now through September the 19th. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. is when it will run tomorrow. Market on the Square in Broken Bow, located in Broken Bow's historic city square. Also, mark this date on your calendar when we get to next week. On June the 6th, you'll be able to enjoy the music of Mohana and the Red Shoes. That'll be performing from 6 until 7:30 on June 6th, so there will be music in the square to enjoy coming up on June 6th. But don't forget, Market on the Square coming up tomorrow in downtown Broken Bow from 10 until 4.